You're like, wait, that's a lot of work. You do like a voice memo and then film it and then like
match the audio.
You poor thing.
I do it all by myself. I literally like have like zero funding in this podcast. Literally, it's so sad, bro. I need to get sponsors, like legit, like bro. Ready? Oh no, I just do it.
Okay,
you're fine. Just sit there and look. Alright guys, we are back. We are not in the desert anymore. I'm not in thermal. I am back, stationed at home. Thank you again to Storia Stables, aka Victoria La Canina, for letting me use your property once again. I'm just milking her barn.
For its beautiful lighting and views.
Yes.
Like, do you see this?
It's iconic. It's like free studio lighting. And today I'm... Good God, the water. Just every single time we film this happens. Every time, Cyrus. Anyways, today I'm with Emily Sumeray. So, welcome. And my gosh, you had such a trek today, didn't you?
Yeah. I had to fill my gas to get here, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, luckily I have a hybrid.
Okay.
But girl was running low.
Oh, God.
It was like 50 miles. 45 minutes though.
Okay. Slay. Okay.
Sure.
See, 45 minutes in LA is like very...
It could be 2 miles.
Yeah, it could be 2 miles.
50 miles.
Or 50, yeah, depending on the traffic. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm always stuck up here on Fridays. I like wait out traffic. I'm like here till like 8 because I don't want to fucking do it. Like I don't want to sit in an hour 30 of traffic to go back to downtown LA.
Yeah. I used to live in Westchester, which is right by LAX.
Mm-hmm.
And when I work literally down the road, it would be like if I worked on weekdays, usually worked on weekends, I would sit my ass at the barn, like twiddling my thumbs, checking my Maps app, waiting for it to not be literally almost 2 hours to go down. Because I know you're like, where are you, like downtown?
Yeah, so I'm at USC for college, and it's literally downtown LA. It's not the best environment. It's okay. I love USC as a school, and it's just a trek getting here.
Yeah,
it's
I drove by USC once. Bro, like I actually was scared.
Why does everybody say that? I mean, I have seen some stuff at that campus, okay? I saw somebody, like, swinging an axe. Mm-hmm. Like, just two scenarios of people swinging an axe. This is a common thing. Like, people are just walking down, swinging an axe. One time, I was getting some food on Uber Eats. I stepped out of my apartment to grab the bag from the guy, and the driver wasn't here. He was, like, another 5 minutes, so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait outside. Some, like, guy comes, starts singing, like, sailor music. He's like, whoa, and I'm using anchor. And I literally, like, turned right around. I was like, no, immediate no, we're not doing this. I'm going back inside. Immediate no. And I'm from Vegas, and people think, like, Vegas is, like, a sketch city. Like, Vegas is not like LA by any means. Like, it can get weird in Vegas, but, like, LA weird is, like, oh, my God.
You ever been to New York City?
Yes. New York weird is also,
New York, God. I feel like, because I lived in New Jersey. Well, I was literally raised in New Jersey. And I would go to New York all the time, and, like, people don't understand that what you see on TikTok, mm-hmm. like rats running around, like, homeless people with, like, almost naked, like, screaming, like, that's real.
Wow.
That is New York.
All right.
Absolutely.
Dang.
I don't know. I've been, like, a little bit into downtown. But New York City is, like, actually, like, insane.
Oh, my God.
I don't know how... For anyone that's listening right now, if you live in New York City, I'm sorry. I don't know how you do it. I like the country. I like living here. I don't know what the appeal is, like, turning a corner and you almost get jumped with someone, like, wielding a machete. But...
No, but honestly, like, I'm a country girl, too. Like, I have to escape the city. Like, that's why I'm always up at the barn, because it's just too much. Like... It's just too loud, and just people are strange, and then there's like people with their loud cars. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
Come on. I'm like, what is this? But oh my gosh, we are so excited to get right into it. We have so much to talk about. See, you guys, if you didn't know, Emily was a working student and now she's a pro.
I'm working on not being a pro.
Working on not being a pro.
Working on it.
We're going to get into that. I really wanted to start off with just like, how is your experience as like a working student? Because I know a lot of people watching this are in the positions of like just being a working student. Mm-hmm. And so how was that for you? Did you enjoy it? And would you recommend it?
So it really depends on where you are. So thankfully for me, I was very blessed as a junior to have support from my mom. So I didn't have necessarily the need to fully work. I didn't have to go somewhere and work full time to get rides, to get lessons. It wasn't like that. So my working student experience wasn't exactly what people would get if they were, like a junior. Or are amateurs allowed to be working students?
I don't think so. Maybe they are. I don't know. A lot of amateur rules have changed because at first, like, even like amateurs weren't allowed to get like sponsors. I mean, technically you're not. Like, you're supposed to call it something else, like just like social media.
Yeah.
But like, before we couldn't get like any like free merchandise or anything like sponsory, and now they've changed that completely. Now you can get anything you want and even be paid for ride and stuff like that. But like before we didn't have that, and that's why people chose like the pro route.
Yeah. That's how it felt for me, because I think I went pro like a year or so ago, and that's how recent the rule change was, because I was reading all of the things that you could and couldn't do as an amateur, and I was like, man, fuck this. Like, I read through all the rules, and I was like, if I stay an amateur and work, I'm fucked. Like, I can't even go, I kid you not, you cannot even, like, go into the ring and set a jump, even if it's just, like, to help your trainer without someone, like, and reporting you.
Yeah.
So I went pro, and I regret it. But we'll get there. As far as working students go, my advice, as someone that had a great time being a working student, is to make sure that you're vetting the barns that you work at. Like, I feel like that's not even the bare minimum. Some people will get, like, a job. You know what? I get it. It's really exciting for somewhere to offer you a job. But please do your research. There's so many people that get absolutely screwed over, and it was avoidable. Personally, I recommend a Facebook page. What is it called? It's called Rate My Pro.
Oh, wow. I never heard of that.
Yep, there's a Facebook page. You join it. It's private, so you don't have to worry about, certain people being on there. Okay. I mean, you can see the list of members.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, every single post is a terrible experience with a barn. You put in that little search bar, if you know how to use Facebook, you search your trainer's name or the person's name or the barn's name, and that shit pops up, run.
Oh!
Run. That was not a thing when I was a junior. There was no, website or group or anything to look to look up, because the horse community is so tight-knit. If you say anything bad about one person or, one pro,
you're canceled.
Yeah. Half of the equestrian world hates you.
Yeah.
It's still a thing now. I mean, I can't talk shit about the people I worked for a year ago.
Me neither.
Or 2 years ago.
And listen, y'all know this podcast, I don't hide it. This podcast is controversial. I don't hide it. My page is controversial, okay? There's people that either get it or they don't. I go on my page, I troll. That's what I do. And I make comedy videos. Not everybody understands that. And that's fine. If you don't understand it, okay, whatever. So I have, a lot of haters, a lot of people that don't understand what I'm doing. That I'm okay with. But, oh my God, I've gone through some stuff, but I cannot allow myself to release, because it's just that pressure is so. That's why I love this podcast though, because even though it's I'm not gonna name drop, it's still nice to give people an outlet to kind of just speak and just have that, because there's educational podcasts, there's no podcast that gets to the nitty gritty and don't care about the weird comments from the boomers or whatever.
Absolutely,
we just get into it.
I mean, you know me. Anyone that knows who I am knows my TikTok. I've been canceled 8 times. I've been canceled so many times, I can't even count. I literally cannot count. But there's a difference between TikTok and getting canceled by a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
And getting ostracized for genuinely talking about how someone abuses horses.
Yeah.
And it's real. So just really be careful when you're looking to be a working student. Make sure to get references. I feel like some people just forget that references exist. You can ask, when you're talking to them or you're doing like a week trial with them, ask for references. And if they don't have any references, don't work for them.
Period.
Because how are you going to be a whole professional with a whole barn looking for someone to work for you and not have a single positive reference?
Oof.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even I have references, bruh.
I have references,
believe it or not.
And I'm not a working student. I've never gone that route because, like, for one, I grew up in, just growing up in, like, Las Vegas, I've mentioned this so many times on the podcast, but it was very small, like, just between, like, not a lot of options out there. So, like, working student wasn't really, like, a thing that was, like, just done.
Yeah.
And it was just, because everyone was barn hopping anyways, like, it didn't really matter in that. No, literally. But it just wasn't something that was done. And even, like, it was such a taboo thing that when I just heard the term, I was like, oh, working student, I would just, like, have, like, such a visceral reaction. I'm like, bro, I never want to be, like, no, I'm like, I'd rather be shot than be a working student.
No, I don't blame you.
Is that, like, stereotype, like, true?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Dang.
I completely understand why people don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. That's why I don't do it anymore. I don't work for barns anymore. People are crazy.
Yeah.
But when I was a junior, I had really good opportunities. My main opportunity was not even working. I was a client. That's what I mean. I didn't really do working student, but I basically had, like, all the perks of being a working student. So I was a boarder at this barn. Shout out to that bar, by the way. You know who you are. And because I wrote well, and it was kind of in my career where I was going from 2'6" to 1.30 m.
Dang.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We had a jump. We definitely had a jump. So while I was progressing, I was getting better, and that barn in particular likes to import a lot of horses. So I got the opportunity to show some imports. I was riding like 6-7 a day when I only had like 1 or 2 horses. So, if you find a good opportunity, and that barn too had a working student that came in and was also riding and also showing for free and had housing. It exists, guys. I promise it exists.
Dang.
You just have to look in the right place.
Let's go.
I know it sounds hard. I know that there are a million barns out there that do not offer you that. You show up, they pay you $100 a month, and you're in a shoebox. I get it. But I encourage you guys to keep looking. If this is something that you genuinely want to do, working is going to be a huge part of it. Because you're not going to be able to get anywhere if you're not willing to put in the work.
No, that's so true.
Yeah, and that's why I stopped. Like, I'm going to be so honest. I just don't have the work ethic to be a pro. And that's just the honest truth. I cannot get up every single day at 4 o'clock in the morning and work for over 12 hours.
But that's okay. Like, I think equestrians need to understand being honest with yourself and giving yourself grace is so important, especially in the sport. Because, like, I've obviously never been pro or whatever. All the stuff that I juggle, like, just with a business and a podcast and then another business and then school and then writing, it's not for the weak, and I couldn't do it without such an accommodating schedule as well. And, like, when you're a pro, like, you're on that hours, and that is tough. And it's even like me. I'm lucky I'll pace myself and my work because I've started my own businesses and stuff like that so I can manage my work. But, like, I always tell people this. I always tell my parents this. I could never work a 9 to 5. That's why I decided to, like, literally start a company so young. Like, literally 12 years old. I was like, I can't do it. Like, I know myself. Like, I can't even arrive to my lessons on time. How the fuck do you expect me to arrive at 9 on the dot? I'm not going to make it. The second week I'd be fired because I'm just coming late. Like, I can't even make it on time to my classes. I literally have this teacher who gets so mad. Like, you literally, if you're, like, 2 minutes late, you have to give an apology speech. Every fucking week I'm giving that apology speech.
I was going to say, like, at every class I'd be giving an apology speech.
I have to.
I literally plan. I get up. I'm like, yes. Like, I'm going to be so productive. I'm going to get to class on time. I'm going to go to work on time. No.
Yeah, and that's okay.
I just lay in bed and I watch TikTok. And, suddenly, I wake up at 6 and I have to leave at 8 and suddenly it's 8:15 and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh. And even me, like, I feel like I'm pretty disciplined with, like, I get up for yoga in the morning and all that stuff. And even then, still, I just couldn't manage, like, just somebody being on my back. And Like, that's just how I knew. And so, like, my advice, at least, like, not for a working student, but anybody's looking to, you're kind of like me, and we're like, oh my God, like, I don't want anybody, like, breathing down my neck. Like, what do I do? And I need to make money. And, you know, I was in that position too. Like, I didn't have any money in the sport, and I needed money, and I wanted money to get where I wanted to be. And so my advice is just, like, have that, like, starting a business, doing all these things, it's confidence more than anything. Like, it's not about the skills. I didn't know shit when I was 12. But I did have the balls when I was 14 to walk into a board of investors and give a pitch on my business. Like, it's all about that confidence and just owning that. And, like, once you have that, like, power within yourself, you can achieve anything. So, like, that's my advice to anybody who's, like, looking to, like, start their own business or just go out in the, like, make money for themselves. Just block out all the noise and just do it. Just, like, do it.
Definitely.
You know?
If you're gonna, especially when you're a professional, just be prepared to literally be mentally and physically abused.
Okay, we have to unpack that in the next segment because I need to know all the details. Just wanted to say, currently I'm wearing equestrian Stockholm, but it is an outfit from hashtag We Ride Together, which is a program to end sexual assault and misconduct in the equestrian sport. And it is started by Lauren Kay and Kendall Bourgeois, who's we literally had on the last episode as well, talking about the resources that We Ride Together provides and just education in general, and also talking about safe sports. If you haven't watched episode 7, go watch it. But thank you so much to Lauren Kay, We Ride Together. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sending me all this stuff.
You know what's so crazy? Safe sport, like, wasn't a thing when I was,
Oh, yes, it started very recently.
Like,
was it 2021?
It wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing because I remember when it started, it was 2021, and then there was a whole situation with Rob Gage. We're not even going to get into that one because there's a lot of opinions. But that is where it started.
All I'm going to say is I wish that safe sport existed way before. It was long overdue. Long overdue. Yeah, I guess I'm guilty. Like, there are some people that I could definitely safe sport.
Me too, and I have safe sport, and I talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah. I've helped with a lot of processes with safe sport, specifically friends with trainers that, deserve to be safe sport, if we put it that way.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm going to say is safe sport is here for a reason.
Yeah, don't be afraid to use it.
Yeah.
And please do not. There is nothing that can happen to you because there are
anonymous.
Things that are in place. Yes, it's anonymous, and there are literal things in place that are made by Safe Sport to keep you guys safe, so that you feel like you can come forward. They won't know, and honestly, if you're safe sporting this trainer, there's probably a million other people out there that want to do the same thing.
Yes!
So, they're probably going to be like, oh, Safe Sport, like, alright, because it's one of, 100 people that I fucked over my entire career. So you're probably fine.
You're probably fine. Just do it. Honestly, people need to be held accountable in this sport, and that's why, these things are so important because, we have to break the barriers in the sport. Otherwise, it's never going to change. Otherwise, it's always going to be the secret society, and that's not acceptable anymore. And it's not 1920 anymore. I don't care when you were born. I don't give a, it's not.
That is so real. Can we talk about that? How many times we, as a horse community, try to progress in the right direction when it comes to, inclusivity or safety or, safe sport. And there's just, a bunch of 50-year-olds in the comments well, back in my day. What do you mean?
Is it your day now? Is the day in here with us? Where is the day? It's not 1950 anymore.
They're being, abused it's some sort of, trophy or, some sort of cool thing. Oh, yeah, I was fucking abused as a junior when I was,
literally.
12. So you should, what's the point? I should too?
No. What are you talking about? They're like, I was beat, I was whipped, I was pushed in the mud, I was literally called fat, and
damn,
I'm doing fine. I'm like, are you, Dave? I don't know if you're doing fine because you're literally leaving a comment on a very long comment on someone's social media account.
Literally trying to be an activist for being against that shit, and you're well, I was fucking abused when I was a junior.
And I was fine. I don't know if you're fine because I don't think you would be leaving a very long Instagram comment wasting your time and your energy.
At your ripe old age of 50.
At the ripe age of 50, commenting about how you were fine. Babe, you're not fine. Go get therapy. No. Yeah.
And that goes for oh my god, do you remember the thing with the USEF clinic?
Yeah, Katie Proudhon, that was episode 4, I think. I talked about that situation where I was just, like, I gave my opinion, and I said that, like, honestly, like, the stuff that she said, like, half of it, so she got really bad with the animal activist thing. I don't know what that was. She threw that out there. Like, what was that? Why did she just come for people like that? And she was like, I would flip my horse over. And I'm like, but there were some things in it. There was like, that, like, she was like, what was it? I do the kick and slip or something, slip back or something. Smack him back. Like, what is that? Oh, I think there's a fine line between, like, harsh training and, like, because, like, I think there's also, like, the side that's, like, too sensitive, and then the side that's, like, oh, like, we all need to go to war, like, what, like, you know, like, well, boys need to be boys, and girls need to be girls. I'm like, okay, like, I feel like we need a middle ground between the two.
Yeah,
just, like, and chill.
I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to that specific video, because it really was one video that was posted on TikTok of, you know, clips of what she said. I really encourage you to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the clips anymore because they did edit them out. But I do encourage you to watch the whole clinic and get more context. Now, I am not saying that anything that she said in those clips was right, all right? Let me make that clear. Telling someone to flip their horse over is not exactly the best way to tell them to stop in a straight line. But I feel like a lot of people took it and ran with it.
Yeah, they did. It was a cancel culture thing, and that's what I talked about in episode 4. It's like, I think, like, half of the thing that she said, because I already gave my opinion on this, so everybody knows that, like, I said that, like, the reaction was over-exaggerated, because, like, I mean, everybody knows, like, okay, yes, she said, like, in no world is it okay to ever insinuate flip over your horse, but we all know, if we just use deductive reasoning, we all know she doesn't actually mean to run your horse into the fence and flip it over. We all know that. But, like, because she said one or two really horrible things, everybody ran with that. And it's the same way. Like, that's how people get canceled. And, like, luckily, like, I had one attempt of somebody trying to cancel me. It was very failed.
Only
very
one?
cute. I didn't lose any followers. I started gaining followers. So that was cute. No, I think I've had two attempts, but they're both failed.
What'd you get canceled for?
Girl. We're back.
Jacket.
Yes, I'm freezing. It's so cold here, you guys. It's ridiculous. Put the phone down. So, we touched upon Wellington. Briefly. Now we're gonna get into that, and I need to know the Wellington tea, because, like, your girlie hasn't been. I need to know, like, there's so much Wellington drama. Wellington tea, it's, like, a whole thing. I literally had, like, this, like, casting director who... this is funny. This casting director who, like, came to me and was like, I really want to make a film about Wellington, because I hear there's so many, like, crazy stuff and, like, parties. So, like, the stereotype, like, is it true? Like,
yeah.
Okay, what's the tea? I need to know.
Okay, I'll give some tea. Just to preface, I am not a Wellington person. As in, I did not go to WEF every year. This is just my experience as someone that went for one season.
One season? Okay.
I was not friends with a lot of the people, so I don't really know them. You know, I'm not going to speak on their character or anything. I was friends with a few people who I met through social media.
For purposes of safety, these are all alleged.
Allegedly. Yeah, this is all allegedly,
This is all alleged.
No, Wellington's crazy. I am not a huge partier. I've never been a huge partier. I am absolutely deathly afraid of vomit and puking.
I'm stone cold sober. I
don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I'm afraid of people throwing up. I'm afraid of throwing up myself. So me and parties, we don't mesh like that. You know, because as you guys know about the Wellington stereotype, those parties go a little crazy, and someone's gonna vomit. So I went to one. I've been to one Wellington party in Grand Prix Village. So my friend, we hopped into his car, and we drove to Grand Prix Village, and he told them that he was like a groom or something. We were doing like a night check, and I can't name drop, and I can't drop the barn name either, but it was a barn in Grand Prix Village up like in the groom's quarters or something. And I kid you not, I lasted 15 minutes before someone threw up. I had a panic attack and I left. But
Yes.
no, I mean, from what I saw, the party really wasn't that crazy, but I had just gotten there, and I think it had just been getting started. So I know that they are crazy. I haven't personally been to a crazy one. What I went to seemed pretty chill. Everyone was very nice. I didn't have issues with anyone, but, you know, someone did throw up, and then I ran away.
Ooh.
And I made my friend drive me home. But I did warn her, because she was the one that wanted me to go. And she's like, oh, you know, you have to experience a Wellington party at least once. And I told her, I was like, listen, if someone throws up, like, I'm out and you're driving me home. And that's exactly what happened. So that's the TL Wellington parties. They are crazy. I haven't been to a specifically crazy one, because I'm not really a partier. I only went to one, and it seemed pretty chill. So that's the parties. The more, like, the more tea that I have is more, like, everyone talks so much shit about each other.
Ooh.
Like, you would think, you know, because, like, it's Wellington, there's so many people showing. Everyone knows each other. And for some reason, like, they all talk the most shit behind their backs.
Whoa.
Yeah, like, they're, like, all best friends. They're all, you know, like, hanging out all the time. But then, like, behind closed doors, like, I've had people come over, and I'm like, oh, you know, like, how's so-and-so? And they're like, oh, they had a terrible round today, like, talking shit about them. And I was like, damn, bro. Like,
whoa!
I could never be friends with someone that, you know, is, like, your friend, and then, like, the next second, they're turning around and talking shit. I don't know how they do it. And I don't know if this should be in it, but, like, they all, like, fuck each other. Like, it's so weird. It's, like, a weird incest thing, bruh.
Oh god,
like,
that's state.
I swear to God, there are some girls there that, like, have fucked the same dude, like, 5 of them.
No way.
Because they all are, like, on Tinder, and they all match with, like, the same guys on Tinder, and they all hook up with the same guy.
Some polyamorous thing?
Okay, no, it's not that. But, like, you know, they'll, like, we'll be like, oh, yeah, I hooked up with, like, so-and-so, and she'll be like, no way, like, I did that a few months ago. Like, how do you do that?
What the heck?
I'm a very monogamous girl, okay? I could never do Tinder. Listen, I got banned from Tinder when I was 16 because I was 16, pretending 18, and I haven't been on Tinder since. I don't know how y'all do it with Tinder.
I downloaded Hinge once to... So first I downloaded Hinge to, like, just, like, start trolling people, because, like, I can't do the whole dating. Like, I'm the person... I've always been this way, too. Like, I'm the person who's like, when love is ready, it'll come find me. Like,
and that's so real.
It'll just come find me. Like, I don't need to have my first kiss. I don't need to do all this stuff. I don't give a fuck. Like, when love is ready for me, it will just land in my lap. Because have you
had your first kiss?
No.
Stop. You're kidding.
No.
You haven't even had your first kiss?
No, I haven't. Like, I'm, like, stone cold sober girl. I don't do nothing. Like, I have, obviously, like, I've been around stuff. Like, I've
like, made eye contact with a man before?
No, I've, like, never even had a crush before.
You heard this here, guys. She's never even made eye contact with a man before.
I've never had a crush. I've never had a crush.
Are you, like, asexual?
Nope. I'm just like, when it find me, it'll find me.
That's true.
Right?
Honestly, like, when I was younger, I used to always... I love owls.
Me too.
When I was younger, I used to, like, chase guys. Like, I'd have, like, so many guys on my phone. And you never get anything productive out of that. This is even horse-related, but it is so true.
No, but it's true. People need to hear this.
Yeah, if you want an actual, genuine relationship in your life, having 5 guys on your Snapchat, at least...
Let me add this for lighting.
Oh my god, it probably looks so bad.
Like, I have to say it. I don't know if I can hold it up like this.
No, this is giving James Charles right now.
James Charles, hey sisters. All right, guys. So, this has been, obviously, a Chaos of a Mess of a podcast, but that is the Horse Girls podcast. We are controversial. We keep it real. We keep it budget. And... we have to, and I'm like, that's just what we do. Also, I totally forgot to mention this. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast, but Emily, we met through Equilence, which is my equestrian agency that I started to foster a culture with equestrian content creators, because like we were saying before, like, we don't get the opportunity to talk to each other. It sucks, you know, and it's such an already isolating sport. Like, maybe you'll see your friends at horse shows, and then like you're all gone, and then you never talk to each other like until you come into a horse show. Like, it's so isolating. So I wanted to really foster like a community for content creators to also grow people's accounts, help people grow, and then already for like people that are content creators to get connected with like different brands and like companies to promote their campaigns and social media and help brands grow and just make it easier, just like an agency. So I always say it, if you're a brand and you're interested in getting involved in the Equilance roster, we have finally officially launched. I know I've been saying like we haven't launched and people have been asking, when are you going to launch, when are you going to launch? I had to push this back like months, you guys. So much work went behind the scenes. Like, you have no idea. It was like a lot of work. It's finally launched. It is out and about. So you can get on the roster and follow us on Instagram at the Equilance Group. And if you want to see more of Emily, I will let her shout out her pages.
Alright guys, so my TikTok is arenasandeaters. A lot of people cannot, I've had people in my comments that have been following me for years, and they don't understand that mine thing says Arena Sand Eaters. Like, I don't know what they think it is, but yeah, so my TikTok is Arena Sand Eaters. And my Instagram is my first and last name. It's Emily Sumeray, but the Emily has 2 Y's.
Nice.
You guys can follow me, and I definitely vouch for Equilance. I've been a content creator for the past 3 or so years. I haven't really been taking it seriously. Kind of like, I know this sounds kind of stupid, but I kind of like amassed like 19,000 followers from just like shit posting, literally.
As you should. As you should.
But now I'm gonna start taking it a little bit more seriously, maybe get some brand deals. And definitely excited to meet more of my community. I mean, even just like meeting Nana was amazing. I wouldn't have ever met her. I mean, we literally live like 45 minutes away from each other. We never would have met. Yeah, it's insane. So if you're ever thinking about applying, I totally would suggest that you do. You could talk to me. You could talk to Nana. I mean, there's so many other people that you could talk to too. It's just like a great community in general. But yeah, I totally suggest it. It doesn't matter if you have 1 follower, if you have 1 million followers. Mm-hmm. Everyone's welcome. As long as you're committed to posting and you're committed to, really gaining an audience and growing your account, you're definitely going to be accepted.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on the Equilance content creator group.
Thank you for the shout. And that is so true. Like, I just want to make that very clear, because people are like, are you only accepting like people that are already have an account? Well, if you're already set, then there wouldn't be a need for Equilance, like there would not, because people that already have like 40K or whatever are getting brand, like they don't need it.
Yeah,
it's more for people that are trying to find another avenue in the sport and like trying to make bank, because like you can make hella bank being a content creator.
So real.
You really
not on TikTok though. Let me tell you something.
Oh no,
TikTok is shit at monetizing your content.
No, TikTok Live, you can make 50K a month.
Oh, I know. I used to. Okay, so like on my personal account, I would go on TikTok Live, mm-hmm. and I've made like $100 a day. But if you do anything but that, no money. No money.
It's
like
only
actually
TikTok Live. It's only TikTok Live.
Yeah, and that's money. Completely based off of like people sending you money. Like,
yeah.
You have to have like actual people. TikTok will not give you money.
Yeah, TikTok will not give you money. Like not. I've been part of the creativity beta program.
Girl, I left that shit. I joined it. I left the what was it, the Creator Fund or something?
Yeah, the Creator
Fund. That like actually got me money. And then I left it to join that one. And I got so pissed off by like how terribly they pay you that I just left it.
Yeah,
I'm not even in it.
Yeah, they pay you so bad. Like $200 a month, bro. I'm like, where is this coming from? Where you get the money is from the brands, like the brand deals and stuff like that, and like the different like campaigns that you can do, and then like learning how to monetize your content is like so important, which so many content creators fall down on because they're like, I have like 1 million followers and I get $0 because I don't know how to monetize my account, which is like also what Equilance helps do. And Christ on a bike, let's wrap up this podcast. Thank you guys for watching the Horse Girls podcast. Bye. There's like a nasty ass bug.
It's time to go to Chili's. Just like 1,000-yard stare into the camera, just like.
Yeah, literally. Hey guys, welcome to the Horse Girls podcast. My name's Nana Sarfo, and today I'm sitting with Emily Sumeray. And this is where chaos and glamour finds a distance.